Let's bring in meteorologist Sarah Gannon joining us now live from our weather patio. Sarah, spring definitely living up to its name out there. A good week on tap, I hear.
Absolutely. The forecast looking at pretty gorgeous here the next several days, looking at a lot more in the 40s and some 50s as well. Like week is in store here. As we look ahead here to tonight, things staying pretty quiet for us in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Maybe a couple of sprinkles late tonight, potentially. Cloud cover, though, will be building in. Otherwise, the rest of this week looking fairly Minnesota and northern Iowa. So when it comes to those rain chances, as I mentioned, staying very, very limited. Maybe a couple of sprinkles out it. So outside here, you can see sky conditions, very quiet, clear conditions overhead. Some rain showers, though, off to our west. So that's where we have to watch out for maybe later on tonight. Evening hours, though, cloud cover gradually building in. Temperatures should hold steady into the 40s here through about midnight or so. And then we'll see temperatures cooling back into the 30s. So more of a crisp start here ahead for our Tuesday morning, but gearing up for more spring in the coming days. We'll have more on those forecast details in your first alert weather ahead.
Appreciate it, Sarah. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
And we are looking ahead to a beautiful evening for the region. A little chilly, but we'll see some cloud cover. Sneak peek into your upcoming week forecast featuring more springtime warmth, the 40s, 50s, and even a shot with some days in the 60s. We'll talk more about those forecast details on what will be a very spring-like week for the region. That's ahead in your first alert weather.
Alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
Absolutely gorgeous day out there. Cooler, but don't worry, temperatures will make this week. Gorgeous sunshine out there, so good opportunity to just kind of get some fresh air here today. Live look outside from your Lewis Donato live camera. We are seeing temperatures into the 40s, so pretty seasonal day here for our Monday. 43 right now in Rochester, 44 in Austin, 46 in Winona and Mason City. Wind speeds have been staying relatively light, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Now, as we head into tonight, we'll see increasing cloud cover, winds picking up just a bit, maybe even a couple sprinkles passing through, but I think for the most part, the majority of us should stay dry, but can't quite rule out maybe a couple sprinkles here and there. Temperature-wise, really warm here this week, feeling very spring-like, some 50s, even a couple days in the 60s possible here in the next 7 to 10 days. Of forecasting, though, a pretty dry stretch of weather. That continues in the next 7 to 10 days. Fairly limited. Again, we're going to keep an eye on a couple stray sprinkles here tonight. For the most part, we're still dry and quiet here at this hour. Cloud cover building in from the west, along with those couple of showers you can see off in the distance. Rest of tonight, we'll see that cloud cover building back in. And as we head into tomorrow, more clouds are still possible. But notice for the Rochester area, looking at high temperatures there, climbing into the 50s. So across the board here, southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, we'll see temperatures ranging anywhere from around 52 to about 56 degrees by the afternoon. And again, more cloud cover than sunshine tomorrow, but temperatures certainly making up for that lack of sun. Now, as we move into the next 10 days, like I said, it'll be a pretty dry forecast. Again, not quite ruling out those sprinkles tonight, but again, I think it'll stay very limited. Off in the distance, though, out about 9-10 days, maybe some stray rain chances come Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Aside from that, again, that forecast here continuing to stay pretty dry. So let's take a look here at that 10-day forecast. Absolutely gorgeous stretch of weather here, especially as we enter into the mid and late week. We'll see temperatures ranging from those lower 50s all the way up to maybe some low 60s here by tomorrow and Wednesday. This weekend, continuing on with those warm conditions and some sunshine to boot. Maybe our Friday, probably our cooler day here of the next 7 to 10 with temperatures more seasonal, but the rest of the week, absolutely stunning. Brock, and you and I were talking about the snow piles in the yard. They're pretty much gone here at this point in time. And
I don't think they're going to last too much longer. And look, weekend, those temperatures look great. I always have my eyes set a little far out, and I'm liking it.
Trying to get your to-do list planned.
Yeah, I just like these days to go by quickly. I'm ready for spring.
Yes.
Thanks,
yes.
Sarah. Nick?
Let's take one last look at that 10-day forecast. A beautiful stretch of weather here in the next 7 to 10 days. We're talking 50s, even 60s here through the rest of this week. A little chilly by Friday, but don't worry, it does rebound back to those 50s here heading into this weekend. A gorgeous stretch of weather on the way. So if you're looking to get outside, next couple of days will be absolutely perfect. I know today, just a touch of a chill, so maybe a bit more of a crisp start to tomorrow morning, but otherwise warming into those 50s. Several opportunities here in the coming days to just get outside, get some fresh air, get some and just enjoy kind of a rather spring week. It's not very often we get a true spring week here, at least southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, I've noticed.
Well, and that's definitely the theme here. We've been talking about in the commercial break of just there's something about being able to get out and just breathe that all in, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The extra sun, too, that just feels amazing.
It does the body good. They used to say that about milk. I think it works well for the sun as well. I'm sure I violated a trademark there, so I apologize for everyone for that. Hope to see you again tonight at 10. Good night.
Headed outdoors now, our meteorologist Sarah Gannon joins us live from the weather patio. Sarah, what are you tracking for this week?
Well, hey there, Olivia. Things looking a lot more spring-like here as we head into the late week, especially, well, next couple of days, I should say. High temperatures today, close to average. We're sitting mainly into those 40s today in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. As we look ahead here for the rest of tonight, things looking pretty quiet for the region. No significant first alerts except for temperatures. We are going to continue to keep an eye on some warming temps throughout the next couple of days, talking 40s, 50s, and even 60s on the way for high temperatures here in the next few days. Tomorrow, another beautiful spring-like day. Temps will be warmer than what we saw today, climbing into those low to mid 50s. However, compared to today, not as much sunshine, tracking more cloud cover on the way for Tuesday. So more on those Tuesday forecast details. That's ahead in your first alert weather.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in just a little bit.
Hi, the first alert to some warming temperatures here in the next couple of days. Things will feel very spring-like as we see high temperatures in the 50s and the 60s, all possible here this week. More clouds, though, on the way heading into tonight and our Tuesday, but sunshine is expected later this week. Those first alert forecast details are next. Beautiful day out there across the region here for our Monday. A little chilly compared to, I know, how it felt over the weekend, Saturday. Gorgeous day with those record highs in the 70s. Tonight, though, things still on the quiet side here as we check in live look there downtown Rochester. Temperatures in the area sitting into the upper 30s to low 40s. Highs today sat mainly into those 40s. So more seasonal here for the region today. But again, more warmth on the way in the coming days. Let's take a look at your first alerts here tonight. So we are looking to see some increase in cloud cover and even a few sprinkles are possible in the area. Although I do think most of us should stay pretty dry and quiet. Temperatures this week, that's the big talking point, is the warmth that's on the way. Very spring-like day with highs in the 50s and the 60s. Rain chances, snow chances, any sort of precipitation, very limited here in the next 7 to 10 days, maybe later next week. Here tonight, as we check in with Future Track Radar, we'll keep an eye on a couple sprinkles possible. I really don't think much of this making it to the ground, making much of an impact here for the area. But if you're out driving any late night, if you have any late night commutes here tonight, maybe encountering a couple sprinkles. That'll kind of be about it. But like I said, things very dry here in the next 7 to 10 days. We'll get through this week, the weekend, and by late next week, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to keep an eye on that long-range forecast there. Maybe a chance for some straight rain showers. So we'll keep an eye on that, but otherwise things looking very quiet here in the coming days. Tomorrow, kind of a crisp start to the day. We'll see here temperatures 7 a.m. sitting mainly into those mid-30s. Wind chill values back into the teens and more overcast sky to kick off the day. Sky cover continue to stay rather cloudy throughout our Tuesday, maybe catching a couple rays of sun throughout the day, but mostly cloud cover is expected for the region. We'll see high temperatures into those low to mid 50s. So more above average, warmer than today. Looking at that long range forecast here as we check in with the Climate Prediction Center, anticipating as we move into the end of the month, even early April, temperatures could be staying slightly above average, especially as we head into that first week there of April. Temperatures could be roughly about 60 to 80% chance of being above average. So warmth continuing to settle in, especially in the long-range forecast. We'll take a look here at that 7-day forecast for Mankato. Temperatures potentially approaching that 70-degree mark by Wednesday. Temps, though, cooler by Friday in the 40s, but temps rebounding for the late week and weekends into the 50s and 60s. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area, a really warm and dry, quiet stretch. Cloud cover tomorrow, but plenty more sun opportunities here as we approach the weekend. Friday will likely be our chillier day with highs there in those lower 40s, but you can see that spread there of 50s, even 60s on the map. And again, Mankato potentially getting close to that 70-degree mark again.
With how wonderful this weekend was, I can't wait for weather like that again.
Everyone's thinking spring.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
We are gearing up for some more warmth and more sunshine in the coming days. A very spring-like week on tap for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Tomorrow, though, not as much sun. We'll see more cloud cover than sunshine, maybe a couple of rays peeking through, but certainly temperatures will be warmer into the low and mid 50s compared to the 40s we saw today. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details coming up.
Well, Sarah, it's shaping out to be the perfect early spring forecast.
Yeah, Olivia, weather looking absolutely fabulous here as we head into the upcoming week. Today, a little cooler, but compared to, of course, what we will see and what we did see on Saturday. But temperatures very seasonal today into the 40s. The sunshine absolutely beautiful today. And as I mentioned, 40s for highs today. Heading into tomorrow, we'll be tracking more 50s and ultimately 60s as we head into later on in the week. We'll see a chance for more 50s and 60s on the way. So this week looking pretty beautiful, more sunshine on the way. Tomorrow, though, maybe not as much sun, but we will be looking at temperatures warmer into those low to mid 50s. We may have to watch out for a couple sprinkles here tonight, but otherwise a pretty dry forecast in place for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa in the next week and a half. So we'll talk more about this first alert forecast details in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
Beautiful spring weather ahead here for the upcoming week. I have the first alert to those warming temps. Tomorrow, not as much sun, but we are tracking highs in the 50s. Some spots maybe approaching the 60s and even the 70s as we head towards the middle of this week. More on that first alert forecast is ahead. A beautiful day out there across the region today. This evening, a little bit cooler, so it'll be a crisp start to our Tuesday. Right now, we are looking at temperatures sitting into the upper 30s to low 40s and high temperatures across the board. Today, we're into those 40s, so pretty seasonal here for the start of the work week. Heading into tonight, we'll watch out for some increase in cloud cover, maybe a couple sprinkles to dodge, but otherwise, the main talking point is going to be our temperatures for this week. Highs in the 50s, 60s, Mankato area, and areas west of I-35 could potentially approach maybe that 70-degree mark here by the midweek. Rain chances, snow chances, any sort of precip, pretty much non-existent. It will stay very limited here in the next 7 to 10 days. Outside of tonight's shower chance, you can see just some spotty showers out there. I don't think a lot of this is actually making it to the ground. So if you're doing any late night commuting, just be mindful. We may run into a couple sprinkles, but that's kind of about it. We'll see that tapering off here in the next couple of hours. Looking more at that long-range rain forecast, though. We're dry here heading into the late weekends, early next week dry as well. Keeping a close eye, though, on the late week for late next week, Wednesday, Thursday there, maybe a straight chance at some rain showers. Tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures into those 30s, a little bit warmer than average, but still a crisp start there at the 7 a.m. time frame. We'll see temps into those mid 30s. Cloud cover staying cloudy heading into Tuesday afternoon. We may catch just a couple glimmers of that sunshine there throughout the day, but for the most part, over mostly cloudy sky, we'll look to see high temperatures into those lower 40s, maybe even, lower 50s, maybe some mid 50s off towards Mankato and areas west of the I-35 corridor. Looking at that long range forecast, though, temperatures may continue to trend above average here as we enter into late March and then especially into that first week of April. We could be looking potentially at our temperatures in the area, roughly about a 60 to 80% chance of being above average here for this time of the year. So if you're ready for some spring temperatures, even just some warmer temps, more of that on the horizon. 7-day forecast for the Mankato area could potentially be approaching that 70-degree mark here by Wednesday. Temps, though, sinking back into the 40s by the end of the work week and then rebounding back to those 50s here this weekend. Similar story for Rochester. 10-day forecast here. We're looking at 50s tomorrow, 60s by Wednesday. Quick drop into those 40s on Friday. More rain, more sun chances on the way. The weekend looking fabulous. Tomorrow, though, still having to see that blanket of cloud cover overhead.
Lots of sunshine, so I like to see that.
Yes.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Nick. Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. A beautiful stretch of some spring weather on the way this upcoming week. We're tracking highs in the 40s here on Friday, so a little chillier there, but we're expecting to see 50s, 60s, maybe even edging or nearing that 70-degree mark in the Mankato area here on Wednesday. So Wednesday, likely our warmer day here of the upcoming week. Cooler then by Friday. Tracking, though, a lot of sunshine on the way in the coming days. Tomorrow, though, not as much sunshine. It'll be more cloudy than we will be seeing that sun, but rain chances staying very, very limited. Maybe mid to late next week, some rain chances there on the extended forecast. But regardless, a beautiful stretch of very spring-like weather here this week.
Beautiful, just like you.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9.
We have been enjoying some warm temperatures here across the board. Highs climbing into those 40s today, so relatively around seasonal average here this time of the year. So that high today, 44 in Rochester, 48 in Mason City. Again, temperatures today staying around average. This evening, keeping an eye on a couple sprinkles possible here in the region, but for the most part, a lot of us should be staying pretty dry. Just increased cloud cover as we transition into tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see that cloud cover. Temperatures around 7 a.m. as we're waking up, heading out the door. Should be into those 30, so slightly above average, but it will be a crisp morning for sure. Heading into the afternoon, we'll see those high temperatures climbing into the 50s, so a beautiful Tuesday on tap, just not as much sunshine as what we saw today. So we're kind of doing a trade-off here, Brock. We had the 40s today, we'll get the 50s tomorrow, but with the warmth, we will lose that sunshine, but don't worry. I'll show you there in the extended forecast that we're tracking more sun and more beautiful spring temperatures this week.
Well, we learn in life very early on you can't have it all, and tomorrow I guess will just be one of those days, but
yes,
good things to come.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Sarah. We'll see you soon.
We are gearing up for some spring-like conditions heading into this week, tracking more 40s and even some 60s. Tomorrow featuring some cloud cover on the way, but I promise we are looking to see more sunshine in the coming days. All the latest forecast details in your First Alert weather next.
Alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We saw some beautiful conditions across the area tonight, maybe catching a couple sprinkles, but I think for the most part we should be staying pretty dry. Cloud cover though will increase, and that means more clouds for Tuesday versus what we saw today. However, temperature wise, beautiful in the coming days, tracking 50s, even some 60s across portions of the region here this week. Rain chances, snow chances, any type of precip staying very limited over the next 7 to 10 days. So taking a look outside here with your future track radar picking up on that possibility of some light rain, some sprinkles happening in the viewing area. But for the most part, again, the bulk of the region looking very dry, very quiet. So you may encounter a couple sprinkles if you are close to the riverside here tonight. But looking further out in that long range forecast through this week, the weekend, even the start of next week, pretty dry conditions. We'll have to keep an eye on Wednesday, Thursday of next week, maybe some stray rain chances possible there. But as we look ahead to tomorrow, things will be on the quiet side. Overcast sky, especially in the Rochester area. We'll see high temperatures tomorrow climbing into those lower 50s. Looking at the rest of the viewing area, we'll see temperatures along the riverside into those mid 50s, and especially towards the I-35 corridor, looking at temperatures ranging anywhere from around 54 to about 56 degrees. As a whole, southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, looking at temperatures anywhere from around 52 to 56 degrees for those afternoon high temperatures. If you're looking forward to more warmth in the coming days, heading into the last few days of March, into those first couple days of April, we could be looking at about a 60 to 70% chance of seeing above average temperatures. And the Climate Prediction Center anticipates that 10 to 14 day temperature outlook continues to keep our area in about 70 to 80% chance of seeing above average temperatures. So warmer temps may be on the way, and they could be a sign that spring may be on the horizon, and it'll stick around a little bit. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area, tracking 50s and even a shot at some low 60s by Wednesday. Temperatures briefly cool back into the 40s there on Friday. Otherwise, we are looking at several days here in the extended forecast with above average temperatures. Tomorrow, you'll notice the cloud cover, but amongst that, so much sunshine on the way.
And we see those chances for rain, and we know that April showers, which we'll get pretty soon, bring those May flowers. So if they come a little early, maybe the flowers will come in April as well.
One can only hope.
The voice of reason. Sometimes. Yeah. We're
going to speak it into existence.
I appreciate the support, Sarah. Thank you so much. Always good to see you. All right. President.
Let's take another look at that 10-day forecast. A beautiful stretch of weather on the way. More sunshine, more warmth. Temps will kind of fluctuate throughout this week. We'll see highs in the 40s on Friday, 60s possible Wednesday, and some 50-degree days in between. Things will look very fantastic, very spring-like. Rain chances holding off until maybe the middle of next week. Could see a couple opportunities there. We'll keep an eye on that, but for now, enjoy that sunshine that's on the way this week. Tomorrow, though, more clouds than sun, but highs will be warmer than today, into the 50s. Nick? Let's take one more look at that 10-day forecast. A beautiful stretch of weather here. Very spring-like weather on the way. We're talking about highs in the 50s and 60s here just in the next couple of days. By Friday, temperatures take a brief dip back into those lower 40s. Notice, though, a lot of sunshine outside of tomorrow. More overcast skies on the way, but we should manage a couple peaks of sunshine here and there. The weekend forecast looking absolutely fabulous. Low to upper 50s on the way. That warmth continues into next week. Rain chances staying very, very limited, almost obsolete until we get to about middle to end of next week. Maybe some rain chances in there, but beautiful stretch of weather on the way. Great opportunity to get outside. And I think finally spring may be starting to kind of settle in a little bit. So I'd say take advantage of the warmth and the sunshine while we can. And during the break, we were talking about the spring sports season and the diamonds needing to dry up, and it looks like it could happen. It's already. Absolutely. Hey,
Hey, we appreciate you being with us, everyone. Your time is valuable. Thank you so much for choosing KTTC.